Welcome back, and Martin Adams has laid the foundation for his day with a 5-2 victory over Scott Marsh. Can Boris Koltsov do the same?
Bullseye.
Starts with a bull. Ominous.
Outside. Otherwise, may have a good game.
Koltsov, who won the league on Wednesday, looking to do the double.
100.
And to maybe start a run of his own, very much like Wolfie did before Wednesday, where he had 4 titles in a row. Boris is already 6 points behind that of Fallon Sherrick.
97.
And he will play Fallon in her final game of the day. It'll be very interesting to see where today lies when that game takes place. It will be at 2:30 British time, which for Boris is 4:30 in the afternoon, of course, because he's 2 hours ahead. If Fallon Sherrick was to beat Martin Adams in the next game, then Boris Koltsov would need to beat Fallon to keep other people in the race. First and foremost, he's got to get the win here against Parletti, who has not got a win so far today. A 5-2 loss to Scott Marsh.
140.
And was a victim of a 5-0 whitewash to Fallon Sherrick. Double 13.
26 left.
And just on the outside there for Boris. Well, Dave was going for the 251s to lead tops. Boris returns for 10 double 8.
18.
Clipping those wires today. Not getting it on the inside though. Parletti 2 for tops.
Oh, come on. 65.
Just hasn't been his day today, just isn't clicking.
In 1.
And Boris takes advantage against an opponent that he has a very good record against this week. Beat him 5-2 on Monday.
60.
And then 5-2 again on Wednesday. So he will think with the
97.
phone book that 6 points in the week against Dave Parletti is on the cards.
100.
Really interesting to hear what Dave thinks about his first week playing this format. It's not been easy for him.
139.
It wasn't easy for Mark Dudbridge last week playing his first week. You just got to keep plugging away and trying to find the elements of your game that will bring you through these
98.
performances and possibly give you points.
$44.
Not able to leave a finish after 12 here, Parletti. And Boris is there in 9. 90 remain.
97.
And when he does have 90, he does like going for the bullseye to leave double top. That's just his route.
60.
Double 8.
54.
The 7 conversion isn't so, but he will bounce back to the board in a few seconds' time to take care of the second leg.
137.
Just
score.
misses double 8 in the wrong bed. He's busted. And now that 137 from Parletti was very valuable. Almost in disbelief that he's coming back to the board. And there you have. A little bit of fortune there for Dave, and he has taken advantage. Just goes to show when you're on 177, for example.
93.
Get that 137 in there. Put a little bit of pressure on your opponent when you think they're going to go out. They might. do something like that. He might just hit it in the wrong bed. Double 8 is tricky sometimes. You've got a bust score north and south of it.
Oh, 3, 4.
The hand wrong. They have a bust shot just like Boris did. Is that a catalyst maybe to some better stuff from Dave? And we started this one with a ton and a 1-3-1, so good signs.
55.
And on the flip side, that bust shot from Boris, does that just stall any momentum that he built up there? Oh, Dave's thrown this dart in the yard. It was way right of the ocky there. Unfortunately, it clattered into the other 2 darts and ended up on the floor.
59.
Averages tell you that this game has been workmanlike in the first couple of legs.
60.
And neither player has really clicked into gear yet. There's plenty of time for that.
In 3.
No time like the present. And Boris chips a 160 to regain the lead. It's a fickle old game, isn't it? Can't take out double 8 with 3 darts, but then he gets a 160 in the next leg.
60.
Biggest finish of the day now. That's overtaken the 142 of Parletti, which he hit in the game against Scott Marsh. Sometimes Boris is that kind of player that just says to himself, I've had enough of this now.
58.
I'm not going to have 58s and 43s and 57s. I want to start sprinting in this game.
60.
$177.
Better from Dave. I like that piece of resistance that he showed. Gets himself a lead of 101.
57.
And at the very worst in this match, he's got to make it hard for Boris.
46.
The likelihood is that Dave is not going to be challenging for top spot now, so he could be the spoiler.
78.
Dave doesn't get the 160 in response to that of Boris. He does bring the score down to a manageable 2-darter.
26.
It should be a level game. Has to return back to his original point on the ocky.
50.
He won't be happy that he's left 10. Boris checking where that is. And see the method. 257s would have left
It's
32. He
73.
just missed out on that second 57. Very cautious. One over the top of double 5. Just trying to find a rangefinder there, but the second one goes inside. Boris really shouldn't have this chance.
33.
But it's a chance that he's missed. Dave working his way down. Just get the feeling that maybe there's not a great deal of confidence there after what's been a tough week.
In 2.
And Boris takes advantage and goes 3-1 up. It's conceivable that Parletti could be 3-1 up himself with the amount of chances he's had. And this is what I was talking about in the last game.
174.
Great switch from Boris there, though. You are going to get fluctuations in emotion.
40.
That's what makes darts so tiring. Colin Sherrick was
121.
talking earlier on about how at the end of one of these league days she's exhausted. She's not the only one. And she's 25.
59.
Imagine someone like Martin Adams maybe, who is 40 years her senior. It's mentally draining playing all day. It's fun, but it's very challenging.
140.
Dave makes the massive mistake there of leaving a bogey number. Well, interesting route there. He did go for
28.
bullseye, a 90 shot, but hasn't left an easy number. Oh, more misfortune there for Dave with that one on the floor. And Boris looking to go and climb the ladder to tops.
60.
He's had a few darts like that already today where he's let them go a bit late. He's walked on dart 3 and just expected it to come out with a bit of flow. It hasn't happened.
42.
Boris knows where tens is. Well, now he needs to find double 7.
13.
I think you could say that that visit was a disaster. Now, does Dave go double-double?
59.
He did. It wasn't far off tops. Double 1.
Score.
And again, it's that dart that comes out late. And a workmanlike game has turned into an attritional match.
8 left.
More mistakes than quality. Who's going to fall over the line? Double 1 again.
5.
Dave's turn to see if he can get it. This is important to get within 1 again. There you have it. Not much of a celebration to win that 5th leg, but Parletti is somehow still in this match. And if you're in it, you can still win it.
96.
$140.
If you can somehow make 96, which is what Dave scored in his first visit there, if you can make that the standard visit, you will put your opponent under a bit more pressure.
100.
Just try and stay straight. That's exactly what he's doing so far.
60.
And as Boris starts to regress himself, if Dave can find something in this leg, he might be favourite to win this match. Which would be very good news for Fallon Sherrick. And her challenge for today's top spot.
100.
Boris is the one who stayed straight though, with scores of 140, 60 and ton. Dave gets a 140 of his own. To be first inside the finishing zone.
100.
Boris aggressive, not looking at the 25 in ball with the last dart, which surprises me. Bullseye for Parletti.
25 left.
A much better effort. Double 16 for the 101.
16 left.
Last time he missed a lot of darts at double, he responded with a 160 checkout. This time he does not get the ton plus. But Parletti does get the double 8 to keep this match alive and level after 6 legs. It's been a bewildering contest so far, and we are none the wiser as to who's going to take this one.
60.
Full credit to Dave, who has stuck at his task. It has not been easy. The averages are out the window.
40.
It's all about who has enough belief to put themselves in a match-winning position.
David, no. It's 85.
You know when dart players are not happy with themselves when they full name themselves.
134.
We've heard it from Dave Evans, who says, "Oh, David," and Parletti's just done the same.
140.
Well, it worked.
$140.
Great 140 from Boris after throwing a small 20 with dart 1. That's that 140
100.
giving him enough spirit to get over the line and retake the lead at 4-3. Bull
25 left.
not far away. And now it's Parletti's chance at the 1-6 for an unlikely 4-3 lead.
Tops left.
He closed his eyes as soon as he threw it. It didn't go in.
In 3.
And Boris finds the lower echelons of that 8-8 to retake the advantage at 4-3 up.
$60.
Parletti has 2 more games to come after this, and if he's unable to get the result here against Boris,
81.
his best possible result would be 4 points, which would match his effort from Wednesday.
26.
Suppose when you look at the average in this game of Koltsov,
48.
and the fact that he's the record average holder in the Icons of Darts Live League, just goes to show the range that he has. 78 to 116. Maybe that's why he's one of the most infuriating players to watch.
45.
When he gets it right, he gets it very right. But when he gets it wrong,
45.
it's pretty wrong. But even in this wrong type performance, he's still in a match-winning position.
97.
And there's only one way his stats are going to go. Better from Parletti. He's going to get to a finish here.
140.
Boris needs a ton to equalise that score.
140.
He's got more than that. And when he returns now, he will go bull first. If
95.
previous visits in the week and months that we've seen him play are anything to go by. He should have got a single 15, but he's only got a single 10. He leaves tops. Parletti can take it to leg 9 with double 16.
16 left.
Myers double 8 and Boris. This is for a 5-3 win. For the first 5-3 of the day,
In 2.
there is Boris starts his campaign with 2 points. Parletti remains on 0 points. He has 2 games left. But the next one, Adams against Sherrick, it's very important and you shouldn't miss it, so don't go anywhere.